morning, everyone. Okay, so we're gonna go into our new education on diet a little bit further today. We're gonna focus on one of the three macronutrients, and that's gonna be carbohydrates. As we went over yesterday, if you weren't here, a carbohydrate, 1 gram of a carbohydrate will equal 4 calories. So say you have 10 grams of carbohydrates in something that you're eating. Well, 10 times 4 calories per gram would be 40 calories that you're getting from the carbohydrates. Okay, that's just kind of a way to make a carbohydrate real for you. A calorie is measured in heat emission, how much heat your metabolism is putting off, or how much heat your body is putting off. So that is how a calorie is measured. So carbohydrates are the #1 and preferred fuel for the body. So most of your calories should come from carbohydrates. They recommend that 45 to 65% of your diet comes from carbohydrates. There are two types. There's simple and complex carbohydrates. The simple carbohydrates will be like sugar and more of the simple compounds. The complex carbohydrates will be like fiber and starches. One cool thing about fiber is that it is a carbohydrate. It is considered to have 4 calories per gram, just like any other carbohydrate, but your body cannot break down fiber, so it's very good for your digestive health. If you have any problems getting things through, fiber is something, since it's not broken down, it'll be solid and will help push anything through your digestive tract that might be stuck in there. So fiber is really, really good. It also it aids in digestion and regulates your blood sugar, and it promotes satisfy. So whenever you eat fiber, because it's not broken down and it stays in your belly until you process it out, it'll make you feel fuller longer. So that is the good thing about eating fiber. A lot of our diets do lack fiber. So say if you have like a sweet tooth and you're trying to lose weight anyway, at night you can have like a Fiber One brownie. Those are full of fiber. It'll help make you feel full. You'll also get some of that sweetness from the brownie, and then you'll also be getting your fiber. So fiber is very important. It's not something to be overlooked. It's calories that you can eat and not digest. Like, wow, right? That's very, very rare. So what are some of the food groups that we do get carbohydrates from? Definitely fruits and vegetables are the #1 source of carbohydrates. That's why we always say to have at least 1 fruit and vegetable. That's a good start, and then you can build up from there if if you feel need, or if you need more calories. Then it'll also be in like oats and sweet potatoes, bread, rice. Like white rice is considered an empty carbohydrate. Brown rice is more nutritious. It still has all the nutrients in it. Hi everybody. So we're going over carbohydrates today. We're gonna take the diet step by step, and hopefully you guys can learn something and be able to gain more control over your diet in the process. So we're just gonna break it down into smaller categories so it'll be easier to understand. Okay, so then what are the functions of carbohydrates? Carbohydrates help with your physical activity. They help with motion. You need them for energy. They also help with your digestion, like we were talking about with the fiber, and also in other forms it helps with digestion. And then fiber, like we were just talking about, it helps to regulate your blood sugar. So if you do have any blood sugar issues, fiber can definitely help you regulate your blood sugar. And like I said, it promotes satisfy, it makes you feel full. So that is always a plus if you're trying to lose weight. And fiber also like helps aid in digestion. So if anybody has any questions thus far, just let me know. Like I said, yesterday we did Diet 101. I just kind of gave you guys the basic but most important information that I find in nutrition from what I've learned in school. I graduated in dietetics, and I also did an internship after that. So I am educated in the department. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Carbohydrates, that's really honestly what I love in my diet. Like that, a low carb diet, the only reason you should be doing a low carb diet or counting carbohydrates is if you have some kind of ailment that requires it, like diabetes or something like that. Otherwise, carbohydrates should be the bulk of your diet, 45 to 65% of your diet. And then fiber, you want to aim for 25 to 38 grams of fiber a day. Just get your nutrition labels. A lot of carbohydrates will have some fiber, but like I said, if you're looking to slim down, Fiber One brownies is a good option. And then like fruits, okay, for instance, fruits can get boring sometimes, so a good way to jazz up your fruit intake would be to like add some Cool Whip. My mom has been cutting up bananas and putting Cool Whip in there, and she's just like tickled pink about it. So there are ways to be creative with your snacks and make your fruits a little bit more appetizing. And the same thing with vegetables, you know, sometimes you add vinegar, salt and pepper to a cucumber or tomato, and instead of putting, you know, ranch dressing, that's just so much of a better option calorie-wise and just nutrition-wise. Salad dressings are the downfall to salads, because a salad really is like the best thing. You have multiple vegetables. You usually getting a lean protein, like grilled chicken or grilled shrimp. You want to try to stay away from fried things on top of salads if you are trying to watch what you're intaking. You know, if you do have the calories for it and the room for it, then go for it. You just have to watch, you know, some things with your heart health and stuff when it comes to fried food. Even though everybody loves fried food, right? We do definitely around here. It's kind of our specialty, so it is pretty much unavoidable. But, you know, to be completely honest with you guys, we do have a lot of health problems due to our diet intake around here. We eat a lot of white rice, which is just empty calories, really. Brown rice is a better option if you do enjoy it. And that is pretty much my tidbit on carbohydrates. Let's see. It also promotes brain function. You know, you do need carbohydrates to fuel your body and your brain. So, like I said, starting the day with fresh fruit and a multivitamin will really be your best bet to feel like your best self. You don't need a whole lot of calories in the morning. You know, you can just have a small breakfast, if any. Who really has time for breakfast? Not in our house, at least. So always try to put yourself a little like healthy healthy alternative. You can even, have a fruit and some peanut butter for lunch to save some money, because you can't eat for less than $10 now. It's crazy. So sometimes, you can make a sandwich at home. That's a good option for lunch, with like a small bag of chips, preferably baked, depending on your calorie range. You also want to, I will get on here and do the formula with you guys. It's a pretty complicated formula, but you can go and ask AI to calculate how many calories you're supposed to burn in a day. It's called TEE, Total Energy Expenditure is what it stands for. They also have BEE, which is your basal intake, which is your basic if you're not moving at all, just like to breathe and for your heart to pump. So there will be two different numbers depending on your activity factor. If you're active, naturally, you can eat more, so. And then like the fruit thing I was talking about, okay, so you can add Cool Whip if you're trying to eat lower cal. But say you're trying to gain weight, if you're on the gain side of things, you can mix Cool Whip and peanut butter and dip your fruit in that, and talk about delicious. The Cool Whip like smooths out that dryness of the peanut butter, and really like the only fruit that I've really eaten it with is sliced apples. And one of my friends in high school's mom did this, and I never forgot it. So I mean, it's really delicious. If you've never tried it, you should definitely try it. But there are ways around making a healthy snack appealing. It's really about finding stuff that you like, being aware of the calories in stuff, so like if you like ice cream is just so calorie dense, so it's not ideal. Maybe you can, find an alternative like a popsicle. You can find popsicles with probably as low as 40 calories in them. So that's a good little snack. It'll last you a little while. You can watch TV and have a popsicle and not feel totally deprived, like you had no snack at all. So that's just, ways to get around. Carbohydrates are usually in most snacks, like carbohydrates are bread type stuff, so anything in the bakery is going to be full of carbohydrates. Any like Little Debbie snack cake is going to be full of carbohydrates. So just watch your carb intake and your calorie intake from your snacks. Find yourself some healthy snacks that you enjoy and just read the labels. See if you have room for it in your daily energy expenditure. And if you do, great. And if you don't, then you can figure out what the culprit is in your diet, like the snack that you're not supposed to be having. Because like that can ruin, if you have a very small calorie range, like eating the wrong snack can ruin all the hard work that you do in the day, trying to eat better for your meals, and then working out and exercising, and then you sit down with your little tub of ice cream and ruin it all, So like you really have to just be realistic with your diet and be honest with yourself, because no one's going to do it for you, and you're the one that's in control. You are the one putting the food in your mouth, and you are the one making the decisions to grab the food and put it into your mouth. So you're not as out of control as you think. You, like I said yesterday, if you weren't here yesterday, the first 1 to 3 nights of your new diet, if you are trying to reduce your calorie intake, you will have to go to bed hungry, unfortunately. It'll just be for a very small period of time while your stomach, the sac of your stomach that holds the food goes from big to being smaller, from us naturally stretching it out from eating too much. So once your stomach gets back down to the size that it's supposed to be, then you'll feel fuller faster, and you won't have that hunger sensation going throughout after the first day to, sometimes 3 days, depending on the person. And then once you get past that, you feel accomplished, you feel more committed to your new lifestyle change. It's really a lifestyle change. It's not a diet. That's how I should verbalize it to you guys, because it's not about putting yourself in a structure. It's about doing the best you can with the structure that you're provided. Like, it's not about deprivation. Oh, I can't have this. Oh, I can't have a piece of cake. That's not what it's about. It's about, okay, I went to a birthday party, I had a piece of cake, so let me not have a snack tonight. Like, it really is about ebb and flow and give and take. You want to do the best you can, and if you didn't do so great, then try to do better the next day. The faster you correct the behavior, the better. That's with anything, but we want it to be something that is easy to put into your lifestyle. We don't want you to be like, oh, well, we can't go over there because they don't have anything healthy. It's like, no, that's not how you look at it. A diet like that is just bound to fail, unfortunately. So you want to be intuitive, listen to your body, listen to your hunger cues, and try to make the best decision, and make an educated decision based off of your calorie range. Most people girls are gonna be at most usually 1,800 calories, guys a little over 2,000, and that's, a high calorie range. If you're not, the biggest person or the tallest person, then your calorie range will be lower than that. You want to know how much you're supposed to be taking into your body. And it's all based off of like your height, your weight, your sex, your age, and stuff like that. So go talk to AI and tell them, be like, I need to know my TEE, my total energy expenditure. And it'll probably ask you some questions like, well, what's your weight, your height? There are some conversions in it because it's in centimeters, versus inches. So just to make a math problem, a complicated math problem, easy, ask AI how much you need for your total energy expenditure. Total energy expenditure, TEE. It might say, well, let's start with your BEE. Both of them are good to know, just to give yourself like a starting point, a base point to know, like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be, where am I now, and what can I fix or ebb and flow to create the ideal situation and calorie range for my body. So like I said, today was all about carbohydrates. If you guys have any specific questions, please let me know. We're gonna go over protein and then fat next, so we'll just break it down category by category, so we know also when we're picking up food, we have a good idea of what it has in it, whether it's carbohydrates, protein, fat, all three, or mainly, carbohydrates. Like, for instance, carbohydrates are going to be in all of your pastas and your rices and your beans and stuff like that. That's going to be pretty much all carbohydrates for the most part. Very, very carbohydrate dense. And then so will be your fruits and veggies. That is mainly carbohydrate dense. They're not really calorie dense, so they don't have a whole lot of,